I'm Greg Wells.
And I'm Darius Walker. And welcome back to another broadcast here on CBN. The first subject of the week will be Virtue of the Week, and we'll be sending it off to Lucas, who will be talking about assertive.
This week's virtue is assertive. Assertive means to have the strength to be positive and confident. You can practice assertiveness by sharing your own ideas and feelings, telling others what you really think, not allowing others to lead you to trouble, avoiding being too aggressive or passive, asking for what you want, and expecting respect at all times. You can be assertive in your faith by giving a positive outlook on life and spreading your faith in a positive manner. If you're confident in your faith, it will be a lot easier to talk to people about it, which leads to the faith spreading. In all, the virtue of assertiveness is important to your faith in daily life. Thank you, and I'll send it back to Darius and Greg.
Thank you, Lucas. That's a very good virtue. Greg, what does assertive mean to you?
Just to do everything you do with confidence.
So do you think you're a very assertive person?
Depending on the situation.
Depending on the situation. All right. Well, on our next segment, we're going to be sending Dr. Morgan, who's going to be interviewing one of our bass fishers, Caden. Morgan, off to you.
Thanks, guys. I'm here today with Caden Boss and Connor Forehand. You guys are?
We're on the bass fishing team.
Okay,
Yes.
you guys are freshmen?
Sophomores.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So I'm not really educated in the whole fishing thing. So would you guys mind telling me like a little bit about like what you guys do and stuff?
So we go to tournaments probably 4 tournaments we go to, and they're on Saturdays, and we wake up at about 3:30 in the morning. We get to Altoff at 4 in the morning. Get to the tournaments around 6. We start fishing at about 7. Fish till about 3. Weigh-ins at 4 o'clock. We never do well, so we just leave at about 4 o'clock. And then we get home by 5, 6-ish.
It's an all-day event.
The all-day event.
Wow.
No breaks, non-stop action. Yep.
Okay, so what's the biggest fish you guys have caught?
I caught a 6-pound bass about this big one time. Biggest bass I ever caught one time. Yeah, what about you, Connor?
Yeah, 4.5, 5 pound.
Yeah, his was only about this big.
Yeah,
though.
of course.
Yeah.
So I know like when you fish, you have to use bait. So like what's your favorite bait to use?
Me, I'd have to say Texas rig, 2/0 hook. I'd say 3/8 ounce bullet weight. I'd say 12-pound fluorocarbon, 5-inch green pumpkin Senko from Yum.
Yeah, I absolutely love fishing, just like a jig, black and blue on 40-pound braid.
Okay, so lastly, where's your favorite lake to fish at? Like what's your lucky lake?
I don't think I have one. I'm not good at any lake, but I try my best.
Probably Lake Barkley. It's about 3 hours away. It's a really fun lake to fish.
Is it in Illinois or Missouri?
It's in Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, well, thanks, guys.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Morgan.
Darius, do you think technology makes you lonely?
Not really, but I feel like technology has a strong impact on our generation, but not necessarily makes you lonely.
Well, that's what Drew and Miles will be arguing for this week's editorial. Off to them.
Guys, I'm Drew Sursa, and this is Miles Wilhelm, and today we'll be debating the topic for whether technology makes us more alone. I personally believe it does not make you more alone, because even in conversation, if you're texting with someone on your phone, even if you're alone in your room, you're still having conversations with them, and you're still not really alone, in my opinion, because you're still communicating, you're still out there, and I'm not saying you can just sit in a corner of your room and be on technology and say, oh, this counts as high school. No, I think you should still be out there, but I don't really necessarily think it makes you alone by just sitting talking to people online, because you kind of feel their presence, you're still having conversations, you're laughing, maybe you're crying, you don't really know what's going on, but I still feel like you're actually having conversations and you're not really alone.
Well, personally, in my opinion, I believe it does make you more alone. If you know that you have the whole world at your fingertips and you can contact as many people as you want from just a small device like this, it might cause you to feel like it's okay to separate yourself and go off in your room and just text and use your device to connect with people all over the world. It makes it easier to do that. And by doing that, you lose skills such as the communication skills, like eye contact, when meeting new people. So I do think it does make you more alone.
Don't argue that getting to know someone is better in person, which it is, but texting or Snapchatting someone isn't really that different than talking to someone in person, because you're still talking, like to a certain extent, yes, and like getting to know them, but I still feel like you're not alone because you are texting them. Even if you can be physically alone, I don't think you're like really alone in like a psychological sense, because you're still communicating with people and you know maybe laughing, maybe having serious conversations, but I think that you're still kind of not alone when you're with someone.
Well, I would argue that if you seclude yourself to only communicating through social media and talking to people through Twitter and texting, it takes away important communication skills that are needed in the world, such as applying for a job or trying to get into a school. Good things like eye contact and shaking your hands and stuff like that you don't use through texting. You use emoticons and all that kind of stuff. But if you talk to people and meet people in person, it gives you communication skills that you can use throughout your entire life, and it just makes you look like you're more of a friendly, good person in general. Versus if you sit there and hide yourself behind your phone all the time, you might get out in public and it might be a little more nervous for you to talk to people, and it makes you seem and appear more alone to other people.
My argument to that statement is how you say like you're gonna lose communication skills in person. Well, like you're still communicating in public. It's not like, well, not in public, but on a phone. But it's not like all of a sudden when you go talk to a person, you're gonna be like blah, la 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 la. You're still gonna have communication skills to be able to talk to them, even if it's over a phone. Because like, while, as like you said, like you shouldn't just stay in your room and text people and say, I'm happy with this, I think you should go out. But being in your room texting people, I really don't think it's gonna falter your communication skills in person. But I see what you're saying, how it could.
Yeah, I would have to disagree with that, just because I think if you're just gonna stay behind your phone the whole time, you lose a lot of important skills. Because if you're meeting someone for the first time, it's hard, it's weird, it's different. You don't know each other, so you really have to step out of your comfort zone to talk to that person. Especially something like I said earlier, applying for a job or trying to get into a good school or something. It's hard. You need communication skills for that kind of stuff. Something that you can't learn on your phone. You're not gonna. If you go out there and you've never talked to a new person ever and you're going to meet them for the first time, it's going to be a little nervous for you. You might not know what you're doing. You might lose eye contact a lot. You might not have a firm handshake. Stuff like that's important for everyday use, and it's going to help you be better in the future. It's going to help you get better jobs in the future. It goes a long way. So as you can see, there are multiple ways you can argue this topic. I'm sure that Drew still sticks to his opinions, not just to mine, but I'm sure that we can agree and see other sides of the view. And I'm sure you have your opinions on this topic, so feel free to leave your thoughts in our comment section down below on our YouTube page. And
now back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Those are some really good points you made. Have you seen the new Avengers movie?
Yes, I loved it. It made me cry twice, actually.
Did you hear about how much money it made in the first 5 days?
I know, $1.2 billion. I wish I had that much money.
I mean, me too. So let's go hear more about that from Elliot, along with other world news.
Guys, so this is going to be this week's news topic. So first of all, Avengers just came out a week ago, and it is already going to be one of the highest grossing movies of all time. This is also the first movie ever to have 24-hour showings in all theaters across the nation. In other news, ex-Vice President Joe Biden has said that he wanted to be elected in 2020. He now joins 20 other Democratic candidates and to put his hat in the ring to try to beat Trump in the 2020 election. Another topic is there's a major measles outbreak in the USA. Yeah, I'm done. Measles outbreak has hit the U.S. and it is already being the largest measles outbreak since 25 years. This is mainly due to the fact that people aren't getting vaccinated correctly, and that is a problem. Another news topic is sports with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He has been the highest prospect for a few years now, and finally got his MLB debut with the Blue Jays. He went 1 for 4 on the year on this game. Nah, I'm gonna cut that. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just made his MLB debut. He plays now for the Toronto Blue Jays, but before that he was MLB's top prospect for about 3 or 4 years now. He went 1 for 4 and had a very good night in the field. Thank you guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Elliot.
This week on May the 4th, we have the Coach Shots Golf Tournament coming up.
Doesn't that raise money for scholarships?
Yeah, I think so. Last year it raised enough money for like 17 scholarships, so let's hope this year it raised enough for like 20.
That's crazy. We'll hear more about that from Tyler among other upcoming events at House of Cat.
Guys, and with school coming to an end here, this May holds a lot for us. On Saturday the 4th, the Coach Shot Golf Tournament will be held in order to raise money for Altaf scholarships. And on the following day, on Sunday the 5th, the art club and the band will hold art shows and a band concert free for those who attend. And then on May 7th, the girls soccer team, who is the number 2 seed, will take on the number 6 seed Freiburg in the first game of regionals, as the Altaf girls soccer team looks to make another state run. Senior exams will also begin on that day, being held from May 7th till the 10th. Shortly after that, although the schedules have not been released yet, boys baseball will make another regional title run, looking to even push further than that. Soon after that, the grade school picnic will be held on May 15th. That's all for upcoming events. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tyler.
This week, we're going to be interviewing the student of the week, who is Ethan Warner, who is a junior here at South Catholic. He'll be interviewed by Thomas, also known here in the studio as Head Honcho Thomas. Thomas, off to you.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Ethan Warner, who's the current student of the week. So, Ethan, what do you think was the reason you were made student of the week?
Well, I helped out with the St. Vincent de Paul coin drive that we did during Lent, and I just try to help out whenever I can. I know Mr. Keeley always, like, praises me for helping out during study hall, which kind of sounds ignorant, but
that sounds good. What will you do with the parking spot and Tavern on Main gift certificate that every student of the week receives?
Well, I'm definitely gonna go get some food at Tavern on Main. Parking spot, I'll probably use that. I'm not sure. I think it's right in front of the gym. I'm not even sure where it's at though. So I'll have to find that, and I'll probably use that as well.
All right, and last question. What message do you have for the future students of the week?
I mean, like, I wasn't trying to get student of the week. I think it's mainly just about like helping out whenever you can, and people are gonna notice that, and you'll be rewarded hopefully. And even if you don't, like I was doing just fine before I got student of the week, and
all right,
so
sounds good. All right, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Thomas.
Here at Altaf Catholic, we have a lot of amazing teachers. This week, we will be interviewing Miss Gunlock.
Greg, have you had Miss Gunlock as a teacher yet?
Yeah, freshman year.
Do you have any favorite memories with her, or anything you want to share with us?
Not that I can remember just off the top of my head, but we'll go to Boyd to hear some more about her.
Thanks, guys. This week, I went down to Miss Gunlock to ask her a few questions. Here's some of that interview. Miss Gunlock, what made you want to become a teacher?
Well, when I was in high school, I coached and tutored grade school kids, and it kind of, sparked my interest.
Did you ever want to become something else, like when you were younger, or did you always just want to be a teacher?
Well, I started out as a physics major, so I wanted to teach science first, but I always wanted to teach, and then I transferred over to math.
Is this the first teaching job you've taught, or have you taught at other schools?
I've only been at Altaf. I started when I was 22. I did my student teaching in Oakland, Illinois, which was kind of fun.
What subject do you generally teach?
Math, and I have geometry, couple levels, accelerated algebra 2, and a senior math class called intermediate algebra and trig.
Do you teach freshmen, sophomores, or is it all?
I have kind of everybody this year. Freshmen and sophomores in my geometries, and juniors in my algebra 2, and seniors in my senior math.
What's your favorite part about Altaf?
Probably the family atmosphere. I've had medical issues in my family, and I can always lean on my coworkers and my students. They're all very compassionate.
Thank you. That's all we have today. Back to you guys in the studio.
I need some chicken
nuggets. That was a great interview.
Nachos. I need some
Thanks,
boy.
boy.
Some chicken nuggets with some honey mustard, extra dip on it. Oh, my bad. But since we're talking about food right now, that's what I needed. Oatmeal cream pie. Hey, this is a key ingredient. The key ingredient to life right now. Delicious. But yeah, since we're talking about food, let's send it off to Nick, who's gonna be telling us this week's lunch menu here at Altaf Catholic.
Thanks, guys. Those are my favorite two, Darius. So this week for lunch, Monday we have Salisbury steak with gravy and chicken noodles, delicious. Tuesday we have chicken parmesan with spaghetti, also a good one. Wednesday we have a popcorn and pretzel basket. Never know what's gonna come in that. Thursday, we have chicken and greens and a hot griller. And my favorite, Friday, the backyard burger. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Nick. Those items sound delicious.
Do you remember when we were talking about how much the Avengers made earlier?
Yeah, like $1.2 billion.
What would you do if you ever came across that type of money?
That's a lot of money. But first, I think I'll buy my mama a house. Then I buy me a house. And then I buy my dream car, a Camaro and a Lamborghini. And then, I don't know, I'll probably just put it in the bank because I wouldn't know what to do with $1 billion.
Yeah, that's cool. Now we'll see what other people have to say about it with a Q&A from Jet.
Guys, I'm here with Jack Nestor. If you had $1 million right now, what's the first thing you'd buy?
I would buy my parents a house.
Which one's better, Coke or Pepsi?
I personally think Coke is better.
What's better, Burger King or Wendy's?
Wendy's.
If you were stranded on an island, what is the 3 things you would bring with you?
I would bring water, my phone, and a charger.
And finally, who's your favorite teacher here at Alpha Catholic?
My favorite teacher is Miss Lukenhouse.
With Landon Welch. What is your favorite class here at Alpha Catholic?
Personally, I like physical education.
What is your favorite sport?
Soccer.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
What is your favorite movie?
Cars 2.
And finally, what's better, Marvel or DC?
Definitely Marvel. Endgame.
That wraps up this week's broadcast. So make sure you guys follow us on our social medias at Altaf Catholic and Almighty Was 11. But yeah, hope you come back next week and enjoy the show. Thanks for coming.